Hello folks, welcome back to the Broader Corner Part 2. I'm really pleased with the response I've had to the first video that I put out earlier this week. There's quite a few hundred people who have gone on and had a look already, so I'm really grateful for that. I've had a few likes and I've had a few subscribers. It'd be good to get some more subscribers. As you know, it's free, it doesn't cost you anything, so please subscribe and like. It gives me encouragement to know that what I'm doing is going in the right direction. One of the things I wanted to talk about in today's video is my soft food, egg food mix. I know that there's a lot of different varieties out there that a lot of different breeders use. I keep mine relatively straightforward, and a big part of it is soap seed. Now, you have to be careful with soap seed, obviously, as we know, and I'll talk about that a bit in the video. Anyway, one thing that I've got in that mix is permorbide. Which is actually a replacement for soap seed in many respects, but I still give the soap seed as I like the variety in the bird's diet, and it is always the first thing that they go for. But permorbide is really good. It's a good idea to get your birds onto permorbide, as this is it in its dry state, as it's, if you're unavailable to look after the birds for whatever reason and soap seed can't be provided, the birds are already used to the permorbide and will readily take it. I've had a tip from one fancier who got in touch to talk about the soft food that I'm giving to my allied birds. Now obviously as adults it doesn't really make much difference, but as the allied birds hopefully will produce me some birds with either clear whites or variegated whites, I really want pure white feathering if I can. So the type of soft food that I'm giving can take that into account. So rather than giving the birds the green and yellow permorbide, what I'll do is anything that's allied to white, I'm going to give this, I think it's Bianco that they call it, permorbide Bianco. So this will go in the bird's diet, and with that the egg food I'll give is also slightly different. This doesn't have the same amount of yellowing in as normal normal egg food mixes. I'm using Versalaga for this, and we'll just see how it gets on. I'd be interested to hear anybody's feedback on that and whether you've had experience of trying any of these products with white feathered birds, and you know what sort of response you had from the birds, particularly how the chicks react. And of course the important thing is to get the birds used to the egg food that they're going to be having when they've got chicks in the nest. There's no point me giving one egg food across the board to all of the birds if when it comes to raising chicks I change it to the white based foods and suddenly the parents don't like it and won't feed a chick. So it's important that I get them on that diet and get them used to it now. So I'll stop talking and I'll let you see how I put my soft food egg food mix together and how the birds like it when I give it to them. I'm in the kitchen for this part of what I'm doing. I'm just going on to the soak seed that I use for my birds. I just use a generic germination seed from any main supplier. I think it's Johnson & Jeff's this year that I'm using. And what I do is I put in 3, for the number of birds that I've got, it's a small finger draw, and all I do is put in 3 scoops of the germination seed into a little tub. To that I then add just a little bit of sterilising fluid. This is just to get rid of any pathogens that might be hanging around on some of the seed. That gets a swirl around under the tap, and I'll now soak that for the next 4 hours until I know that it's nice and drenched. Now, typical classic BBC Blue Peter style. Here's one that I prepared earlier. This has been soaked for the last 48 hours. So what I do now is I have somewhere, a little yoghurt pot that I've punched some holes in the bottom, which makes a little sieve for me. Now what I do is I pour my seed, my mixed seed, into that little sieve, give it a swirl around, drain any water off. And then I have my mixed seed in my little sieve ready to go. Next stage is to take your sprouter, drop the seed into the sprouter, and then add half a litre of fresh water. Rinse out the pot so I get all of the seed in the sprouter, and then fill it up with half a litre of fresh water. Lid goes on, and that now goes somewhere warm for the next 48 hours. What will happen is on this sprouter I've got is a little hole in this leg, and that water will drip through and into the layer below and then leave all of the seeds just a little bit damp really. This little red cap fits on to make sure that the hole doesn't get blocked. So this is the seed after it's been sprouted. It's had its went in on Monday, and here we are now, it's Thursday, and it's ready for me to give to the birds. A lot of the seeds sprouted. You can see the mung beans are the ones that have put the biggest sprouts out. I'm not sure whether actually I've even left this a little bit far, and whether I could even have, let's try and focus on this a little bit, whether I could have actually fed this yesterday. I'm not quite sure whether I've gone a little bit over. So, but you can see there's quite a lot of white shoots, white roots that have come out of the seed. The birds absolutely love this. When I put it in their mix, this is what they always go for first. It's very important that the seeds are well rinsed. It's possible that there could be some pathogens and some germs that get in that aren't beneficial to the birds if the soak seed goes off. So you always want to make sure once you've got it out of your sprouter that it gets a thorough rinsing, and I always run it under the tap, probably 3 or 4 times. I run it straight under the tap and drain it all, and this gets rid of anything that might be lurking in there that you don't want. Here we have the pearl morbide in its dry state. The left hand side is the standard green and yellow, and then the right hand side is the bianco, which is for the allied birds. What I always do is I give double the amount of water to the amount of pearl morbide that I've put in. So just in this example I've put in 1 finger jaw of pearl morbide in the left and 1 finger jaw in the right. So I will add approximately that amount in water to the mix. I know roughly what this is because of the number of times that I've done it, so I'm just going to add the water straight from the tap, but you'll get the idea. So here we are a couple of hours later now, and you can see that the pearl morbide, the dry pearl morbide, has soaked up all of the water. I'll just zoom in on the green and yellow one a little bit, and those little pellets have probably doubled in size. And there's the bianco. It goes a little bit more mushy, the bianco, but it still does the job. So I'll be adding that to the mixtures shortly. When I do the next mixture, I will just use the green and yellow pearl morbide. I won't put the bianco in because that's in a separate mix. So it's soft food mix for me today. I just got petit pois, boiled egg. I put in some soak seed for 48 hours, and then pearl morbide. I try to do an equal mix of everything, and then over the top of that I just put some seedy egg food. 5 finger draws, and that then I mix in. Now this doesn't look like there's a huge amount here for many of you guys that have got lots and lots of birds. I've got 19 in my canary room at the moment, and this just about does my 19. So they'll get a finger draw of egg food twice a week. Now we're into February, it's up to twice a week. And as all of us see with our birds, when it comes to giving egg food, they go mad for it.
Just wanted to correct a couple of things on the soak seed. When I put the soak seed in with the sterilising fluid and the water, it soaks for 4 hours and then it's rinsed and emptied into the sprouter. It then stays in the sprouter for 24 hours and then the following day, 24 hours later, it's rinsed again, and then after it's rinsed again it goes back into the seed sprouter where it stays for another 24 hours, and then it comes out and then it's rinsed for the final time and then it's given to the birds.
I wanted to mention the other canary guys out on the YouTube platform. It's good to have a number of people trying to encourage other folks into the hobby. Particularly I want to thank Matt out of the Canary Room, who I've badgered quite a lot since I decided to have a go at this, and Matt's given me some really good tips to help get me going. Also I wanted to thank Shane Evans of Direct Bird Products. Shane helped me run a couple of competitions on my Facebook group when I first set that up, which had quite a lot of response, so I'm pleased about that, so big shout out and thanks to Shane. But also the Red Factor Man Red Canaries, Karl's Bird Room, and of course OC Avery with Ollie Crowther. And they're all good videos, you can learn a lot from them, so jump on and have a look. I'll put the links in this clip. I thought I'd show you one of my other pairs for this coming season. This is a buff cock, lightly variegated buff cock. He was bred last year. He's actually the second boarder that I've ever bred, so I was quite pleased. He won the best boarder in the Workington Cage Bird Society show, novice class, which was a real shock because that was the first ever show that I'd entered. So to even get a place was something that would have been totally unexpected. So to actually get best in show, I was over the moon. He won several first place classes as well in the show season this last year. And I think I can't remember now, I think he was third or fourth best in one show. So he's not bad, he's not a bad little bird. He's got some good type to him, I think, in my novice eye. So there he is, that's the buff cock. Now, this is a yellow variegated hen. She's going to be the partner to the buff cock. 2021 bird. She's got a really nice type. In my novice eye, I've still got a lot to learn, but I think that she has. She's looking a bit scraggly around the chest at the moment. She had a bath this morning, so I don't think she's fully dried off. She's a nice hen, so I'm hoping that the two of them together could give me some nice youngsters. I think this will, if anything comes from this pairing, it will be quite late because the cock didn't hatch until I think it was the middle of June. So he's a way away from being mature yet, so I'm not expecting anything quickly from these two, but hopefully I might get one round out of them later in the year. Well, that's the end of my second video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, please like and subscribe. It would be really good to get some feedback from you all to see how you think I'm doing. I hope you like my birds, and I'll see you in the next one.